share my other when I'm on my other screen, share my other chart. On my other chart, my other share my obsidian. Nice push up right now. I'm gonna move my stop loss to 1/3 of this candlestick that's forming right here. Price is already at the TP. 5 minute time frame right here. I'm sharing the 3 minute time frame. Should be sharing the 5 minute. Stop loss is right here below this candlestick that's forming right here on the 5 minute. Bitch, stop shopping. Right here below this 5 minute. Let me charge up my phone. My computer is chopping right now. Let me fix this. Alright, let's get active. GU, as long as price doesn't break below here, price starts breaking below here is going to stop me out of the position. What I observed was both positions. This one right here was a bounce play. I knew that price was, as long as price maintained above support, buys were still valid to me. And price did maintain above the support, and it gave me this tweezer bottom right here as support, and that's when I decided to enter. And no, yeah, I was in this trade as well too. This was the one that I recently, yeah, this one right here. This one right here. When this candle came down, rejected, and it gave me this candlestick, I decided to enter here. Then price came up here. I moved my stop loss to 1/3 of that candle. Price came down to stop this position out. Then here, right when this candle closed, this right here, this setup that I took right here, this setup was the domain expansion that I've observed. Price was trading sideways, rejecting the highs, and it was rejecting the lows. And then price came down in this overall bullish momentum. Then price came down and it started consolidating here, and it didn't come back down into these lows like how it did before. Therefore, I decided to take this entry here. once this candle closed, one thing that I could have done, and I'm observing this now, I just didn't do it, was take a breakout setup as well. Once price started to break above this area, I could have added another position. I didn't add for the breakout, and that's one thing I'm improving a lot on with the combination of a domain expansion and breakout together, placing both of those trades. I didn't take this breakout setup here, and price still ended up coming up here. Now my stop loss is below this wick right here. If price breaks below here, it's going to stop me out of the position. And I was looking to target up into the next 1 hour zone, which price did end up getting to. And now it's just a matter of just letting the market do whatever it wants to do. I'm just going to set an alert so I can actually go in on the topic of the day. I'm going to set an alert here, and I'm going to set an alert right here on my stop loss if price breaks below. Now, when it comes to the topic of the day, I was spending some time this morning, and I was just thinking of temptations, right? Because every last one of us deals with temptations. There's not a single person that doesn't get tempted. What your temptation is your temptation. It's your own lust. And I want to break this down, and this is how I do things, and this is the system that works best for me, and I just want to share this. How I always do things is I do the actual instructions. So when it comes to building a system and breaking free from a system, right now we're talking about temptations. What I always do is the actual instructions that the word tells us to do, the actual actions that we take, the actions. How do you overcome temptation? What do you have to actually do to overcome it? Because the word is the ultimate guide, it's the blueprint. So that's the blueprint. Then it's the blessings that you receive. What does the word say about the blessings that you receive when you fight off those temptations? And then, important as well, to not just look at the blessings, but to look at the destruction that comes if you continue to keep falling into those lusts, into those temptations. This three is what I do for every single thing. Doesn't matter what the system it is. Trading, temptations, it could be anxiety, it could be building a system, breaking free from a system. I always do these three. This is how I use the foundation of the word to guide me and to not have to rely on man. 1 John chapter 2 verse 27. And this is how you can build any system and break free from any system without needing any motivational videos, without needing other people, outside sources all the time. It's good to get help from others, but you never want to rely on man. And this is how you use the word as your guide. Think about whatever category it is that you want to either break free from or build a system upon. And when you do that, what does the word tell you to do? How does the word tell you to do it? What is the blessings that come from it? And what is the destruction? I want to talk about first is excuse me. What am I doing? I'm tripping. Let me see something. All right, cool. I'm gonna zoom in on this too so you guys can see it a little bit better. I just wanted to show the overview of it. The first thing, when it comes to the blueprint, first things before I get to the blueprint on it, we got to understand what temptation is and how does temptation arise. And first, we got to go to James, which is the destruction. James chapter 1, verse 13 to 15. I want to break this down because this right here is going to put everything together, and and I want you to think about this as I'm explaining this. James chapter 1, verse 13 to 15. We're going to go verse by verse. Let me zoom in. That's a little aggressive. All right. James chapter 1, verse 13 to 15. Let no man say when he is tempted, let no man say when he is tempted, not if he is tempted. When? That means we will be tempted. Everyone is tempted. Jesus was perfect, and yet he was still tempted. The servant is not greater than the master. We all will be tempted. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. Why? Because God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man. God will never tempt you to do evil. If God doesn't do it, who's the one that tempts? The devil. So when you observe that, if you're getting tempted, and how do you know if it's a temptation? How do you know if it's a bad thing or a good thing? If it brings you further away from God, if it brings destruction into your life, into others' life, if it does harm and not good, if it goes against the laws and the commandments of what God says, then that is a temptation. That is not what God wants you to do. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. That means temptations only come from your own lust. That's why temptation, for example, me, I don't lust over cigarettes. I hate the smell of cigarettes. I despise cigarettes. Cigarettes are absolutely disgusting to me. So that can't be a temptation for me. I can't get tempted. Somebody can come up to me and offer me 10 packs of cigarettes for free, and I will 10 times over. Well, I'm not going to say it 10 times. I'll say it once. And I will say no without any hesitation. I would not have any second thought of maybe should I? No, because that can't tempt me. So Satan is not going to tempt me with cigarettes. Versus if you are somebody who has that nicotine addiction and you do struggle with cigarettes, you do struggle with the smoking. That is your temptation. Meaning when that pack of cigarettes gets offered to you and you're trying to break free from it, that's going to be your temptation. That's going to be that thing that you struggle with. You're going to second guess is, oh, this, that, and the third. That's what temptation looks like. So it's your own lust. And that's why look at temptation as a beautiful opportunity to expose the things that you need to work on. If you're getting tempted by something, that means you are lusting over it, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. If you are tempted, that is something that you lust over, regardless if you want to admit it or not. What's done in the dark shall be brought to the light. And that is your opportunity. That's why God allows it to happen, so it can be brought to the light. The things that you struggle with, the things that you want to keep in that closet, no, that's what temptations do. And that's an opportunity for you to see, oh, okay, this, if I'm keeping on getting tempted by the same thing over and over and over again, you struggle with that. I struggle with that. And that's something that you have to identify for yourself. So look at it as an opportunity to overcome that, an opportunity to flee from it. Because the word, understand that temptations, you can't say that you can, there's no point because the word says this. You shouldn't try to, that's why it said fight temptations. You can never completely get rid of temptations. You can never completely get rid of that. You will always be that. Lust, you will always get tempted. Think about it, Joseph. Joseph didn't struggle with lust and he got tempted. He still said no. And look what happened when he passed the test. Temptations are going to be something that always happen. You're going to keep on getting tempted. So if you know that, make the journey enjoyable and don't hate it, and understand that it's going to, if you look at temptations as something that's bad and dreadful and all of that, you're going to hate this journey because that's just what's going to happen. That's just the truth of it. If Jesus Christ was perfect and he was tempted, there is no reason why you should think that you will ever not be tempted. You're not better than Jesus. No, the servant is not greater than the master. So you can't think that you would never be tempted. You got to accept that. And once you accept that, how am I going to go about this journey? I would choose to enjoy it and love it and look at it as opportunities for me to level up than to despise it. So understand that. Then when lust have conceived, it brings forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, brings forth death, physical death and spiritual death. And you see that a lot around now. And those people that are spiritually dead, Satan can use those at any point in time. Ask yourself this: have you observed that? Have you observed people around you? Observe people in public or wherever or online who are dead. They may be speaking and living, but they're spiritually dead. And you can see that within them. So that's what's the first thing to understand about temptations. And that's what temptation actually is. Then, once you identify that, what is the blueprint? How do we overcome temptation? The Bible makes it very clear and it makes it very simple. Matthew 26:41. Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. Watch. You have to be cautious, be sober minded, be watchful. Sober mind. You can't be filling up your eyes, mind, and everything with a whole bunch of things. You have to watch and you have to pray. There's another scripture that I can add to this is fasting. Fasting is a way to overcome temptations. There's certain spirits, there's certain strongholds that you can only overcome by fasting. Going on a fast, like from food, and going on a fast from whatever that temptation is, whatever that lust is for you. Going on a fast from it. Stop giving into it. And stop giving into it long enough to actually see the results of it. Instead of, I'm going to give up drinking. I'm gonna give up drinking. Yeah, you stop doing it for a week, that one weekend that you didn't go out, and then you go drink again. And then I'm gonna stop doing it for a week. Either go all in or don't go in at all. If you struggle with drinking, just stop drinking at all. Stop drinking as a whole. You gotta actually stay through it long enough to see the results. Just like a marathon, we take two people. One person, we both start the marathon at the same exact time. We both have well, not we, but those two people, person one and person two, they both have that temptation, that lust of gluttony. Let's say gluttony. They both struggle with gluttony. You have person one who goes a mile and then they start getting weak. The flesh is weak. They start getting weak. So you know what? I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna start again. So they go back to the finish line. I'm not the finish line, the starter line. They chill there and they say, all right, I'm gonna start for real next week. Next week is when I'm gonna really start. So next week comes, they go another mile. They may go 1.3 miles, 1.2 miles, and they get weak again. So you know what? I'm gonna start next month. So they go back, do it again. They done did, and you're going in this constant cycle back and forth, back and forth. Person two, he got to a mile, or they got to a mile, and they were weak. They were weak as well. They did not feel like doing it. The difference is, okay, GU just stopped me out. But the difference is beautiful trade. Grateful, super blessed for that trade. The difference is that person was weak and they looked back and they saw that, yeah, that's there. I'm gonna keep going anyway. So they got them out too. This whole entire time, that person is going back and forth, back and forth. They went to mile three, went to mile four, mile five. They may have halted for a little bit. The distance, the time that it took them to go from 1 mile to 2 mile to 3 mile, all the times was the same. This not the same. All the times was different. It may have taken them a little bit longer to go from mile three to mile four, but they never stopped. Mile 4 to 5, they may have been on, they had that motivation. No, not that motivation. They had that push. And they boom, they went to 4 to 5 like it was nothing. 5 to 6, it was a little bit slower. 6 to 7, it was a lot slower, but they still kept going. And what happens is they get all the way up to mile 10. And because they're so far away from that starting point, when you look back, you can't even see the starting point. You can't even see the starting line. So you've made it 10 miles ahead. You're so far ahead. It'd be foolish of you to go back. because now you no longer see that no more, but now what's in your front vision, now you see that finish line. You see that finish line down there. So now that you see this, you're going to continue to keep going that way. It'd be foolish of you to turn back and go that way. Versus person one, that's all they saw was that, because it was right there. They never saw that finish line. Why? Because they never kept going long enough to even see the finish line there. Even though this person too didn't make it to the finish line yet, he still can actually see it because he stuck through it long enough to actually see the results. That's the blueprint. That's a part of the blueprint. Actually stick through the thing long enough to actually overcome the thing that is tempting you. Keep on resisting it long enough, whatever that thing is. If it's gluttony, because remember, this one was gluttony. So if they keep on doing that, now it's to the point where it becomes automatic. They see that finish line. Now they are no longer tempted by the food, the processed stuff, the sugars and all that. It actually disgusts them. Now they got to the point, just like how they despised and hated cigarettes. Now that same person despises and hates the process and all the junk, and it's like it just makes them sick to their stomach when they even look at that stuff. They can't even imagine eating that. And during that entire process, they learn how to replace that, to give them, it's like, okay, if I'm not gonna eat this, okay, I'm gonna start doing my own things. I'm gonna start cooking my own things, growing my own things, all of that. Now you done got so far ahead. Now you know how to build your own, grow your own crops. You know how to, do your own animals and all that type of stuff like that. You done learn all this stuff, and now you know how to. You've enjoyed cooking. You've enjoyed actually eating clean. You've enjoyed eating the things that God has given us to eat, and you've not only have you felt it on the inside and the outside. You see the change in your body. You feel the change in your body because you stuck through it long enough to actually see the results. Understand that. James chapter 4, verse 7. Submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. It can't be more simpler than this. It can't be more simpler than this. Submit yourself to God. Submit yourself to God. I mean, submit, give up that, give up the world, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. God will fight your battles. All you have to do is resist. Yes, it is that easy. If you say that it's hard, it's going to be hard. Me, the word tells me to speak a life. The power is in your tongue. Therefore, I will speak a life into every situation. I'm not going to say that this is going to be hard to overcome. This is easy because all I have to do is resist it. Yes, it is really that easy. If you believe that is hard, that is on you. That's your choice to make. Nobody else's. You can believe it's as hard as you want it to be. That's you. Do you. The word tells me to resist the devil. Resist. There's nothing else to it. Don't give in to it. You drive by McDonald's, you usually go there. Don't go to McDonald's today. Don't go tomorrow either. Every time you drive by, just say no. Just keep going. You can take that resisting to whatever level that you want to, because there's different levels to it, right? Let's say every time, let's say, for example, I'm going to break this down to show you and understand how you can do it for yourself and whatever level that you're at. Because once again, it's like layers. You break it down. You want to go all in with it and you know you can do this, or if you want to take the steps and go one by one, 1 mile at a time, you do it your way. And I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say you deal with the same thing. Let's just stay on the topic of that temptation is gluttony, that lust that you deal with is gluttony. And you've observed that every time you get off work, every time you go out in public, every time you're in certain environments, that's when you are tempted to eat out. Very simple. It's the one of just submitting and resisting. I'm not gonna eat out and just go home. And if you know that, okay, I want to take it to a whole nother level, cool. Every time that you go to work, every time that you go out, leave your card and leave all of your cash at home. And delete the because I know you can do some type of thing on your phone, like the Apple Pay or thing you pay on your phone or whatever it is you can use your phone for. Delete that too. Take it all off. So now, when you go out into public, now when you get off of work or you go into that place, you have no money. You can't buy it anyway. Even if you wanted to, you can't buy it. Look at what you just did. You just took action and now look at how easy it is to overcome it. I can't get I can get tempted to go buy McDonald's, but I can't actually go buy McDonald's if I don't got no money. And you keep doing that every single day. If you have the addiction of being on your phone 24/7, every time you go out to go to wherever, leave your phone at home. Every time you go to the gym, leave your phone in the car. If you like run a business or whatever, and you have to have your phone on you, I get that, I understand that. Or trading wise, right? Manage your trades. I get that, I understand that. You don't need your phone 24/7. If you see that when you work out, you scroll more than you actually train. Leave your phone in the car. Forget the music. You don't need no music. We're in a season of trying to overcome the temptation. You're not to the point where like it's automatic. So you got to actually put yourself in those situations where you overcome it. It's as simple as that. Flee from it. If you deal with what are other like you guys can give me any other ideas of different temptations that one could deal with, and I can talk about that one in particular, but this is the whole idea of temptations. And the next scripture that I'll show is Ephesians 6:11. Put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Put on the whole armor of God. Because think about what armor is. When you have armor on, if somebody tries to cut you and attack you, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna hurt you. So you gotta put on the armor. But think about when you don't have armor on, if somebody tries to cut you with a knife, you're done for. Let me see. I like this one as well. Let me just zoom out. Let me zoom out a little bit. Ephesians 4:22-27. This one is it was this whole one that I had liked because it was like putting away the old man and be renewed in the spirit, like stop living in the past. And this helps a lot when it comes to falling short. Stop thinking so much about that situation. If you fall short, because the righteous man falls 7 times, he gets back up. If you fall short, stop living and dwelling and then within that and stop sitting in it so much. That's like, once again, that's like taking a poop and you are just sitting there in your own poop. That's what it's like when you fall short. You slipped, you fell into some poop, and you're just gonna sit there. No, you're gonna get up, clean yourself off, and you're gonna keep on going. When you fall and you get back up, think about it. If you fell and you slip, and that's why I give extreme examples so you can actually visualize what I'm saying. If you were to slip and fall into some poop, you're not gonna sit there and just stay there and just sit there and just no, you're gonna get up, you're gonna clean yourself off, and now you know that area where that poop was at. So now what you're gonna do? Avoid that next time. You're going to be a lot more cautious so you don't fall and slip into that same thing again. That's the whole point of repentance. When you fall, you repent with the intention of not doing it again. That's why I like the 22 through 20 well, 22 to 25 and 26 and 27 is be angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath. That's a very big one because wrath can lead to so many things. If you're getting tempted so much, so much, and if you have that spirit of wrath on you, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall to those temptations. You're not gonna be able to stick through it longer because you're gonna keep getting pissed off. Why are you gonna get pissed off? Because the thing about this is, the finish line. You don't know where it's at. You can't. You're not gonna be able to pinpoint how long it's gonna take. And if you have wrath and you're impatient, then you're gonna keep on giving up. Because the thing about temptations, right? Temptation is a spiritual thing. And overcoming these things, you don't see, you can see, you will see like the physical and like the actual things. But the things that you won't see is the things that's inside. You won't be able to see that. You you have the temptation of, go back to gluttony, because that's a good example. You resist going to McDonald's 3 or 4 times, but yet guess what? Your body still doesn't change. Your body still looks the same. You did it 10 times. Your body still looks the same. It's not a huge tangible difference. Even after 30, 40 times, it's still not, if you're not actually doing things like working out and eating cleaner, and you guys get the point. But your body still stays the same after 30, 40 times. And what could easily happen is you could be like, oh, it's been 30, 40 times. I don't see any results. Therefore, I'm going to quit. Keep that in mind. And neither give place to the devil. The only power that the enemy has over you is the power that you give him. Don't give place to the devil. If you are trying to overcome gluttony, why is your cabinet filled with Little Debbie cakes, cereals, cookies, ice cream, cakes, sugars, processed foods, all these things? You're giving place to the devil. Don't give place to the devil. It doesn't matter how much you have, how much you paid for it. Get rid of it. Don't give place to the devil. Don't do the mindset of, after I finish this, then I will, I'm gonna just this last one, just this last one. I'm gonna finish this batch and then I'm gonna start. You just gave place to the devil. You just gave place to the devil right there. That's like, sorry, that's like you telling God, hold on, just wait. I'm gonna go live in sin. I know you don't want me to do this. I know you directly told me not to do this, but I'm gonna go do it anyway. And then let me go do this for a little bit. Let me go sleep around for a little bit. Let me go do this for a little bit. And then I'll come to you. That's like, take it to another level. That's like being in a relationship, right? With somebody that you love. And this person tells you, okay, I know we said we're gonna get married, but I'm gonna just go sleep with 5 to 10 more people. I just wanna have fun. I'm gonna go sleep with 5 to 10 more people. And then when I'm done, then I'll come back and we can actually get married. Who's gonna marry that person? You're gonna look like, bro, what? If that's what you truly believe in the first place, I'm not even gonna be in this relationship. You would not let that person back into your life. And if you do, you'll be a fool to do that. That's the same thing. Don't give place to the devil. 2 Timothy, another simple instruction. Flee also youthful lust. But do what when you flee from it? So when you're running away from this, what do you follow? Righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. That is very simple. Flee. Look at how many times in the scripture, when two or more are gathered, God is in the presence. Look at how many times that you fall not, that enter not into temptation. So that means to flee from temptation. Submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. That's two times that the word said to flee from temptation. That you put off concerning the former conversation of the old man, neither give place to the devil, flee from it. Wherefore, putting away lying, speaking, putting it away, flee from it. Flee also youthful lusts. It's like 4, 5 times that the word said to flee. So if the word keeps telling you to flee, it doesn't say create this huge, big, ultimate 16-step process. You need to flee the lust, whatever that is. Waking up and doing a 2-hour morning routine is not going to get rid of that. Waking up saying that I'm going to wake up, then I'm going to take a cold shower, then I'm going to do a cold plunge, and I'm going to do a run, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and doing all of this is going to help me overcome that lust, that temptation. No, it's not. Because you can do all of that and still fall. You can do all of this to try to build yourself up to that. And then that actual temptation comes and you still fall short into it. Why? Because you put so much emphasis on all the outside stuff than resisting the actual thing. Galatians 5 and 16. This I say, then walk in the spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Walk in the spirit. And what happens? These are the instructions. So we know in very simple terms to flee, flee, flee. Okay, so we're going to keep on fleeing. What happens? What are the blessings that come from that? What is the reward? Is there a reward worth? Because a lot of people, and I've observed this, because that temptation and that sin is so beautiful to sit in, and you love it. So to break free from something that you just love and enjoy so much, a lot of people, the reason why they don't break free from that, because they don't know the blessings that come from it. What is better than this? What is better than sleeping around and X, Y, and Z? What is better than eating out and getting all this dopamine and craving? What is better than this? What is better than getting drunk and going out to parties and all of this? Because that is so beautiful and they love that sin so much. So you gotta know the blessings that come from fleeing it. Because temptation is beautiful. Satan comes dressed as the angel of light. Your own lust. If you lust after something, that means you desire it. That's what a temptation is. So that means if you're lusting after something, that means it's something desirable. Temptations are desirable. So what are the blessings that come from that? From resisting. For one, 1 Corinthians 10:13, there have no temptation taken you, but such as common to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it. So that means the more that you resist it, that means God will give you the strength to be able to go through anything in life, because we're all going to get tempted no matter what. God will give you the strength to be able to escape it and bear it. You're trapped in a room and you resisting it, God gave you the key. He gave you the key to be able to escape that. James 1 and 12. Blessed is the man that endures temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. The crown of life, which the Lord promised. God never lies to them that love him. You shall receive the crown of life by resisting that. James chapter 1, 2, and 4. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith works patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. The more and more that you resist, it gets to the point where you count it joy when, once again, here's that when word, not if you fall into diverse temptations. And diverse temptations is being as many times, diverse means multiple. So you may be getting attacked with sexual lust and let's say gluttony, laziness, multiple temptations. Count it all joy. So it gets to the point where all those temptations, you actually count, you get excited. That's why I say that all the time. It's like, look forward to when those temptations happen. But the thing is, most people, if you don't actually practice and if you don't actually go long enough to resist that temptation, you would never understand what I'm saying. It won't make sense to you. If you're that person one who just went a little bit of a mile and then came back, went in a mile and came back, you would never understand that person that's on mile 10 that actually sees the finish line. You would never understand what they're saying. That's what I'm saying. If I'm saying this, you will never understand until you actually apply it for yourself. Because I've seen what these things do. I've seen how it feels to apply these things. I've seen the blessings that come from it. It's beautiful. It truly does make you enjoy this journey a lot more. And then Revelation, oh, there's two more. Revelation 3 and 10. Because you have kept the word of my patience, I will also keep you from the hour and temptation. By resisting it, God is going to protect you. Think about you may have been tempted of that thing every single day. Gluttony. You may have been tempted every single day, and God will keep you from the hour of that temptation when it's happened. Not getting tempted every day. You may get tempted maybe once a month, once a week, once every 3 months. Nah, back then you was getting tempted every day, multiple times throughout the day. He keeps you from that now. Now you no longer struggle with that. Imagine how beautiful that is. To now something that you was fighting in your mind every single day, multiple times throughout the day. You don't even struggle with that. And when it does pop up again, maybe a month from now, weeks from now, it's like, bro, I already did this for X, Y, and Z. I just you brush it off. It's nothing. You have the strength to it. When you get tempted by it every single day, it's a lot more challenging to get tempted by it one time, and you can just brush that off and keep going. And then you don't get tempted for another month or another 2, 3 months, right? Psalms 1, 1 to 3. Blessed is the man that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bring forth his fruit in his season. You will bring forth the fruit during your season, whenever that season is that God has for you, whenever he deems you worthy, whenever he's tested you and you've passed the test, then your fruit shall bear in your season. You shall receive the fruits of your labor. Those are these blessings that come from it. When you understand that, following, it makes following this blueprint more enjoyable. And then when you take it to another level, this is what puts the fear of God in you, and this makes you be obedient and adds that extra layer of protection. This is the full armor of God. Here you putting on pieces. Here you didn't put on a full armor. Here you're just putting on the helmet, the what is it, the loins. You're just putting on a couple of pieces. You got to put on the full armor. These three make up the full armor. If you're just looking at the blessings, anybody can think of the blessings of what could happen when you visualize it. Everybody can do it. But if you don't know how to actually overcome it, and you don't know what the destruction that comes from continue doing it, this alone is irrelevant. This alone is irrelevant because you can just know the blueprint and you're just doing anything just to do anything. And you don't know the blessings that come from it and the destructions if you just know the blueprint and that's all you're focused on. And you don't understand that you have to endure that for a period of time. You can easily know all of this, sprint for a little bit, and then you fall into it. And if you just know the destruction, that just puts you in a thing of fear, and that's all you're afraid of. And you don't know if you're struggling with it, and that's all you're in a state of fear, 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 and you don't know how to actually overcome it, then just knowing the destruction is irrelevant. You gotta know all of them. Let no man, we talked about this. 1 Corinthians 6:18. Flee fornication. This is another thing that says flee fornication. Every sin that a man does is without the body, but he that commits fornication sins against his own body. You're destroying your own body. Galatians 6 and 6, 7, and 8. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. He that soweth to his flesh shall of flesh reap corruption. Think about what God has done, and God has destroyed these people. that were mocking him and that were living in sin and wickedness. Look what happened in the days of Noah. That's why he destroyed it. That's why he flooded the entire world in the first place, because there was so much wickedness going on. There was more evil than there was good. Wickedness consumed the world. It talked about that in the what was it? What's the thing called? In the what's this book called? Oh, the Book of Enoch, the Big Enoch. That's why he flooded the world. Um, in the times with Moses and the people, look at all those plagues and look what he's done. Look at the destruction that he brought to it. Lot, look what he did to that city. Jonah, he was going to destroy the entire city, and then they repented, and so God does not play. Hebrews 3:12 to 13. Take heed, brethren, lest there be any of you an evil heart of unbelief, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. Hardened. Remember what he did to Pharaoh's heart. He hardened him, hardened his heart. And there was so much wickedness. God was doing so much this. God was bringing so much destruction to that land, and the Pharaoh still wouldn't let the people go. That is a hardened heart. The word says that it's another one that I don't have up here that popped in my mind. God will give you over to a strong delusion. You will believe that poop that you're sitting in is paradise. You're sitting in a bed of flowers. It smells good and everything. But that poop is that you're actually sitting in that destruction, wickedness. And God will give you over to that strong delusion. And he will allow the enemy to make you believe that that poop that you're sitting in is, you have the, what's the things, the meta glasses. You have those meta glasses on. He will make you believe that what you're sitting in is just, you're living a life. When you understand these, it would make you think twice about going back into that sin. You think twice about, this is gives you that boost. It's like, yo, I when you tempted, that hesitation. This is so powerful on the days where you don't feel like doing it. This is so powerful the times where you feel like going back and you feel like falling short, because you know that, yo, this temporary pleasure, this temporary lust, this temporary temptation, yeah, this would be good right now in a moment, but look at the destruction that would comes in the long run. Right now in this moment, yeah, this may look good, but I'm not trying to go through that destruction long term. It's another verse that popped in my mind. The one about I love sharing this one. The one about the seven curses. When you are free from a sin and then you go back to it, you will have seven curses worse than the one before, and you would have been better off just not being in it, in the truth in the first place, not even trying to overcome it, than to overcome it and then go back to it. You'd be far worse than that. And that'll put the fear of God in you to the point where it's like, yo, I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to fall into that. I don't like, I'm falling into that. You are literally saying, yo, I invite that destruction in my life. That's what you're saying when you choose to do that. That's why it's very key to understand the different things of it. And that right there, my brothers and my sisters, is the blueprint to overcoming, not overcoming, to fighting off temptations. Because you will always be, you can overcome temptation in one area, but there's always going to be another level that pops up. That's why I'm not going to say that you can just overcome all temptations. No man is perfect. Jesus couldn't even not be tempted. Think about the multiple, that's just one when Satan tempted Jesus when he brought him up to the mountain. That's just one time. But think about all the other times that Jesus was tempted. He was the people tempted him all the time. The people tempted him all the time. Even at the even his closest ones, disciples, temptations. Jesus was always tempted. Jesus was sitting at table with sinners. Jesus was tempted, but did he give into that temptation? No. And look at the blessings that came from it. You can learn everything in life by just picking up the Bible and reading it. If you want to look up to somebody, if you want to learn and study somebody, instead of trying to find all the people, go study Jesus. Go study Jesus. Go pick up the Bible. Go study Jesus. Study how Jesus walked. That is your example. That is all of our examples. Don't try to be like any man. Don't try to be like me. Don't follow to be like me. Don't follow to be like any person that you see on social media. Don't try to be like anybody, any man. Go study and analyze Jesus and try to be like Jesus. It says to be as perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. Strive for the perfection, even though you're never going to be perfect. Nobody's ever perfect. So if we know no man is perfect, why would we strive to be like an imperfect man when we know that there is one that is perfect, and that is Jesus Christ? We know that he is perfect. So why will we strive to be like imperfect men? We should strive to be like Jesus. Learn and study Jesus. Study how he carried himself. In the lifetime that Jesus lived, and it talks about in the Bible, the lifetime that he lived when he was walking, Jesus went through every single thing that every last one of us will go through. And Jesus carried himself in the exact way that we all need to go through it. People turning against you, Judas and Peter, people hating on you, the temptations, the blessings. Jesus went through it all for us. And we can learn from him. And that's what we're supposed to do, is learn from him. He's the guide. Jesus said to follow me. He didn't say to follow man. He didn't say to follow religion. He didn't say to follow the world. He said to follow him. Follow after his teachings. Be obedient to the laws, to the commandments. And temptations, you will be able to fight them off, every last one of them, when they arise. You will always be tempted, but God provides a way out, and he gives you everything you need to fight off that battle. That is all that I have for you all today. Do you guys have any questions for me before I hop off? Or um any any ideas? I'm also making a lot more progress with the I spent some hours. I think I made like 5 videos. I think 5 videos for the course. I broke down the entire system flow of each one. And next, when I go through my batch of recording, I'm going to start going more into depth into the different categories. Um, because I know mainly because I talk about the things that I do. So I know trading, the fitness. Well, I call it a temple now. I don't even say fitness and health. It's the temple because that's all a part of your temple. Because the Bible says the body is a temple for the Holy Spirit. The temple, personal development. What are the categories that I have right now? You guys let me know if there's another one that I should have. The current categories that I have is the system flow foundation, so that breaks it down. I have the trading, I have the tempo, I have personal development, so that's going to be something like temptation and all these things. And then I have the evidence. And in the evidence section, that is the only section that is like me and others. Every other section in it, nothing is about me because I'm not creating a program for people to just try to follow me. That's so foolish. To build a business where I want people to be independent and to have majority of my videos be about following exactly what I do. I have one section in the course that's the evidence, and those are the videos of the actual evidence of the things that I'm sharing, because the word says don't be a hearer and not a doer. So that is where I share my actual trading systems, my training systems. I share actual things of how I actually do things and how I built it for myself. And then I also share the evidence of others, like you guys' testimonies, testimonies of others, that I've worked with as well. And those are the sections that I'm gonna have. I believe, yeah, I already have the trading. I have a good bit of trading videos that you guys told me to make, if I'm not mistaken. Do you guys have any more that you can think of off the top real quick before we hop off of trading or any one of those categories that I just mentioned? Trading, the temple, personal development, or evidence. Like if there's any system that I have, because I never asked that part. If there's any system that I currently do that you would like to learn more about how I personally do it, let me know and I will add that to my list as well. Let's see. Let me see. This I'm going for much love. All praises to the Most High, my brother. Just randomly came upon this, subscribed, and will listen going forward. God had it planned for me to see, brother, man. Man, all praises to the Most High, man. That's the evidence, bro. That's the evidence, man. That is the evidence of being obedient. It's, and I share this all the time, man. Like I truly, that's just a part of my testimony. It's why I love doing this thing so much, and why I love just planting the seed. I love being obedient. I love sharing the word. Because at the beginning stages, I didn't. This is what it looked like for me when it comes to this content stuff, right? And making these videos and sitting here and talking to a camera, right? There's nobody around me, and I'm talking to a camera. To make me be consistent, talking to a camera right here by myself. When I first started, bro, I didn't. You guys know I didn't want to do this, and I didn't see the results at the beginning. I would just keep on posting. I would just keep on saying things, and I didn't see any results. And I'm telling you that obedience and just continuing to put faith and trust in God and saying, you know what, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. That's probably GU went up some more. Let me see. Yeah, GU took off just now. Interesting. That's beautiful. Price broke above your host. And just continue to keep on being obedient. And I was I was both people. You know what I'm saying? That marathon, I was the person one who would go a little bit, then go back, go a little bit, go back. That was those seasons where I would post for a little bit and then stop posting. Post for a little bit and stop posting. Post for a little bit, stop posting. And I remember it was the time where I said, you know what, I'm gonna just keep going. I'll never forget it was a season I say, I'm gonna just keep going. It doesn't matter, who hears it, if nobody hears it, if one person hears it, I'm gonna just keep going. And what happened was I started to see that finish line just a little bit. The beginning stages, it got, I couldn't see it no more really. What happened is one person would come, then the next person, then the next person, then the next person, and now it's to the point where it's just one person, just just one. I don't need thousands of people, just one impact. It literally just makes my entire day, and it makes me want to keep on going even more, to go even harder, because I've seen the impact of what obedience looks like. And God always uses people for your blessing to level you up, because it's those people that will come and say, yo, like, I was going through this and I was going through that. And the exact video, the exact time you decided to do this is when this popped up in my life. God sent you in my life at the exact moment that I needed it. And I'm truly grateful for God, because what that looks like, that's obedience. Because this is what I do and how I continue to keep pushing, even on the times where, I don't feel like it. Now it's to the point where I know the impact that it makes, and now I generally just love flowing. Back then, what it was because I was trying to do that, but I didn't. I was trying to build on a foundation that was faulty. Back then, I was trying to do that without acknowledging the fact that I had that social anxiety. I was struggling with social anxiety, the fear, the doubt, caring about what others think. I was trying to build the foundation to be a blessing to others when I didn't break free from that system first. That's why I kept on doing tumble, trying to build it up, tumble, trying to build it up, tumble. And what I did was I put emphasis on breaking this first before I built up that house again. So I made sure I put myself in situations I'm overcoming this social anxiety. And I would constantly take action. I would record more talking videos. I would record in different scenarios, get different angles. I would put myself in situations to where I had to overcome that. And then I overcame it. And then it was just such a beautiful thing when you overcome that, whatever that is at the bottom, and you overcome that, man, the blessings are just beautiful. And I just love doing this. I just love doing this. And God will show you that through others, through visions, through dreams. He will literally, and it's like you feel it. You truly feel it. And to just be a blessing to those is all my life is just a testimony of just a walk. Just a walk. There's nobody that's perfect. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. And I love to talk about those mistakes because I love to talk about how if I fall, I love to talk about how that fall makes me stronger. I love to talk about how God guided me through those failures. I love to talk about when I was obedient. I love to talk about when I was disobedient. I love to talk about it because that's the testimony that needs to be shared because it's not the way that the world paints it to seem. Because social media shows one side of things. Social media shows the blessings and hides the fallings. And that's not the truth. And the reason why I walk in that way because the Bible does not do that. Go show me in the Bible where the Bible shows nothing but blessings. Go show me in the Bible where there's people, it's just nothing, but they didn't share the other side of things. It's not the case. Moses, it shared the time where Moses killed a man. Joseph, it didn't just start when Joseph became the king. It started when Joseph was at his lowest, when he was thrown in prison. Jesus, it didn't share just the good times when Jesus was saving people and, healing people. It showed when he was tempted. It showed when he was being mocked and scoffed. It showed when the people were hating on him, despising him. It showed all of that time, right? I'm trying to think of, I know there's a lot of other people. Paul talked about when Paul was Saul, and Paul ended up writing most of the New Testament, right? Solomon. It talked about Solomon rise, and it talked about Solomon's fall as well. Samson talked about his rise, talked about the fall. Acknowledge that you can't cover up those things because you'll never see growth if you don't acknowledge the things that you do. You can never build a foundation upon a faulty foundation. You can't try to build a house on a faulty foundation because it's going to keep on falling. You'll never be able to build the house. So you got to actually take care of the source. Break free from that system and build it up the right way. And the right way is with the foundation of God. Love you all so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And you all have a blessed, beautiful, and amazing day.